All right. Hello, everyone. We are live, and so I am actively live right now on two different platforms. First time I'm doing this, trying to be a little bit efficient here. Okay, so I'm actively on I'm basically trying to monitor two screens here, right? So I'm actively live while here on YouTube, and I'm also live while also on TikTok. Okay. And I like doing these lives, talking about digital marketing, affiliate marketing, and content creation, and being able to answer questions in real time for anybody that has them, right? For anyone that does jump on either one of them now. Considering I'm doing this for the first time, being live on both platforms, I'm essentially going to have to be monitoring both platforms in terms of, like, say, questions or comments that come through. So please bear with me if I happen to miss any of them while you are on here, asking if you do have any questions. So, digital marketing and affiliate marketing, and basically content creation, right? That's one of the things that is all the rage these days, right? Everyone's getting into, well, I shouldn't say everyone, but a lot of people are getting into content creation. Welcome, Papa. Did I see Papa come on? Welcome, Lamont Forte. Welcome. For those of you who are joining me for the first time, my name is Christian. Okay, I am currently based in North Carolina, soon to be moving to Florida, something I'm looking pretty forward to. And I typically come on here. I try to come on here once a day, right? Every day. So I have been doing that quite a bit on TikTok. This is only the second day in a row that I'm doing this on YouTube, and essentially, I'm looking to get to the point where we can start doing this on a daily basis, right? Daily basis. Thank you for tapping the screen, marketing, Mama Alexandra. Oh, was I just talking to? I believe that was, yeah, I was just talking to you. All right. So, guys, digital. Hey. Welcome aboard. Welcome, user Cruise. Nobody here on YouTube just yet. All right. It is a kind of like a slower platform for me right now. YouTube is, just because it's only my second time doing a live there on YouTube. But essentially, guys, I'm here to answer any questions for anyone that is interested in getting started making money online with digital marketing and affiliate marketing. Okay. And whole basically this, the way we're going about doing this is with a content creation. Okay. Content creation is basically going to be the most simple way to get eyeballs and get traffic, right, coming to whatever it is that we're promoting, right? Because, like, if we're not going to be spending money on ads, we've got to do that organically. Now, one of the first things I always like to point out from the start is the whole concept, like this whole thing about digital marketing. Welcome, Papa. So, and I appreciate you tapping the screen, Papa, as well, here on TikTok. So, digital marketing, right? I always like to clarify this because it has too many people have been erroneously misled into thinking that digital marketing is like this new thing, right? Like this new wave. Like, basically, they've been erroneously been misled into thinking that it is solely and only about making money by selling digital products and specifically courses, right? And that could not be the furthest thing from the truth, right? Digital marketing, in a nutshell, in simple terms, is basically the process of promoting anything, right? Anything online, right? So you could be promoting a physical product, it could be a digital product, it could be a business, it could be a brand, it could be promoting yourself, right? As a personal brand, for example, right? If, as long as you're promoting it, anything that you promote, anything online, right, that you're promoting, you're basically using digital marketing. That's essentially it. Okay. Now, affiliate marketing, on the other hand, right? Affiliate marketing is a very simple business model that allows regular individuals like you and I, right, to promote other people's or other businesses products and services in return for an affiliate commission every single time we help them generate sales, okay, as a result of our digital marketing efforts, right? And I always called it like the cheat code, right, for beginners who are looking to get started making money online, for the simple fact that it allows beginners to get started to plug into an already existing and successful business, right? It's like the cheat code for beginners to get started making money online without having to without having to worry about the intricacies of running a full-fledged business, right? So you don't have to worry about creating your own products, right, or providing your own service. You don't have to worry about managing inventory or shipping and handling, right, or customer returns or dealing with customer service, right? Those are all headaches and issues and problems for the owners and vendors of the products, right, to deal with, right? Your job as an affiliate, right? Your job, your only job, or I should say your primary job as an affiliate, is basically to drive traffic, right? So you're gonna have to learn the skills of doing digital marketing, right, to drive traffic to the products of those people or companies we've decided to partner with, right? And when we help them do that, generate sales for them or leads, depending on whatever the affiliate agreement is. When we do that, we get paid an affiliate commission, okay? And please forgive me for those of you that are here on a different, like, so I've got my eyes going back and forth. I'm on two different platforms, looking at two different screens, trying to monitor comments coming from both sides so that I'm not missing any. If I have anybody here on YouTube, please say hi. Right, I've got TikTok going here a lot more active. Oh, Garnon's in here. Welcome, Garnon, and welcome, Sunflower Ang, and let's see. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Right. For those of you who are just joining me for the first time, and I apologize for those of you who have been here for a while, you're going to hear me repeat myself over and over quite a bit, just because we have people jumping in and out. But for those of you who are just joining, my name is Christian. I'm currently in North Carolina, moving soon to Florida. Looking forward to that. And essentially, we are discussing content creation here for the purposes of making money with digital marketing and affiliate marketing. Okay. Now, I was just explaining what digital marketing is, and I just got done explaining what affiliate marketing is. I assume, like, I hope everyone that was here got that, understood it. If you don't understand it, just let me know in the comment section and I will re-explain it. Okay. Right. In simple terms, right? Digital marketing is just promoting anything online, right? Promoting anything online, right? It could be a physical product, could be a digital product, anything. Okay. And affiliate marketing is just promoting other people's products and services in return for an affiliate commission. Okay. Now, in case you're wondering, right, like, to make this whole process work, right, there's basically three components that you need to pay attention to. The first one being needing a product, right? If you want to make money online, if you want to make money, you need some kind of product, right? And so the next, oh, welcome, Becoming Toria. And so the next thing becomes, for a lot of people, a lot of beginners, right? They start looking at the fact that, okay, well, I don't have a product. I don't know what to sell. And all, I don't know how to get going with this, right? And even if I did want to get a product, I don't know how to start creating my own product, right? And this is where you have to look at two things, right? If you're going to sell products, you can sell physical products or you can sell digital products, right? Right. And if you're going to create your own product, you can either create a physical product or you can create a digital product. That's going to be up to you. Having said that, as beginners, people who are just getting started, I typically recommend that you go the route of promoting digital products, right? Whether you are promoting your own or promoting other people's products, right? Now, if you're promoting other people's products, right, and you can go the right, like this, like I just mentioned, creating your own physical product is going to be quite a daunting task, right? But if you're going to promote other people's physical products, that's a way to go, right? But the reason why I still would recommend digital products over physical is because with physical products, right, the margins tend to be a lot smaller, all right? With physical products, margins are a lot smaller, right? The difference between what it costs a vendor to make their product and versus how much they sell it for, that difference is where they make their money, right? That margin, and it tends to be pretty slim on digital products. So as an affiliate who's going to insert themselves inside that transactional process, you're only going to be getting a cut of that already small margin, right? So affiliate, companies or people that have affiliate programs that allow affiliate marketers to become part, to join their affiliate program, they are only going to be paying, they can only afford to pay affiliates just a small amount, right, from that already small margin. So as an affiliate marketer, you don't get me wrong, you can still make a lot of money promoting physical products, but the only thing now is that you're going to have to drive a lot of traffic and a lot of volume, right? Bring a lot of volume to those physical products, right? Whereas for the same amount of effort, right, you can direct all that traffic to digital products, right, which have a lot more, much higher margins, right? Usually, depending, because the overhead is pretty low, right, with a digital product. It's one of those things that you just create one time. You create a digital product one time, and you can sell it over and over and over and over and over again. Welcome, Nate Ashby, right? So that's the advantage of dealing with a digital product. And for the same amount of effort that you would have taken promoting, sending all those eyeballs, promoting all those physical products, you can send that towards digital products, right? And make more money for each sale that you make, right? In commissions, right? Just because like I mentioned, a digital product is just something you just make one time and you can sell it over and over. Now, depending on what kind of digital product it is, there's going to be different costs in terms of like upkeep and overhead costs and all that type of stuff. But for the most part, you can make some really hefty commissions with digital products, right? Now, for people who are wondering, like, what exactly are digital products? This is just basically something that you sell that is, these are intangible products, right? Downloads, these could be like PDFs, right? Courses or planners, right? Even banking services, right? Like just say like certain, let's say maybe a certain type of like one of the products that I like promoting is a banking, like SoFi, for example. They have an affiliate program, right? For referring people to open up high yield savings accounts, right? That's all digital type stuff, right? Even Netflix, right? Your Netflix subscription, right? Streaming, all that. These are all basically digital products, right? In essence. And the courses, of course, how could I forget? That's like the main one, right? That's like like one of my bread and butter, right? The place where I make the most money, right? With all the different products and the other things that I promote, right? Courses is going to be, they are definitely going to be like one of the really high paying ones, right? And that's the route that I would encourage you to go, right? So as a beginner, even if you are going to create your own product, right, with a digital product, you can do that, right? And just essentially, you've definitely had some kind of experiences in your life, right, that you can capitalize on or tap into, right? You have knowledge, you have solved problems that you've had to deal with in your life, right? And there are other people, I promise you, other people who are experiencing the same ones. Some books are digital. Yes, absolutely, absolutely, Papa. Yeah, some books are digital too, exactly, right? So yeah, a lot of books that people that traditional books that people have been reading, right? They are now available in digital format now, right? Think about your Amazon Kindle, stuff like that, right? So those are all digital products, and you can promote those, right? You can sell those and earn affiliate commissions for them. I like, thank you, Papa, for bringing that up. That's a very good example, right? Kindle, Amazon Kindle, they have some kind of affiliate program. I know for people who refer. They have an affiliate program that they pay affiliates for referring people to come sign up to, buy their digital books and Kindle and all that type of stuff, right? I don't know the exact details off the top of my head because I don't do it personally, but I know of it, right? And that's one of the things. Funny enough, right? That's one of the things that beginners can, it's one of the good few places, right, where beginners can get started without having any kind of like mass following or like a major website or anything like that, because there are some affiliate programs that require you to have, they want you to jump through certain hoops. They want you to have a certain number of followers, or they want you to have a certain like certain number of website visitors coming to your website, or they want you to have a website, stuff like that, right? But the good thing about Amazon and a lot of affiliate programs, they don't have any requirements whatsoever, and they will take anybody and everybody with no prior experience and allow them to get started. Okay. Now, I mentioned earlier that there are three components, right? Three components. So the first component is having a product, right? So we've gone over that. It could be a digital product, it could be a physical product, it could be one that you create yourself, or it could be one that you promote for somebody else as an affiliate. Okay. So that's your starting point. You've got that. All right. Now, the next component is you're going to need some kind of platform, right, to host your digital product, right? If you are creating your own, right? If you're creating your own, or if it's a physical product, of course, you're going to have some kind of store or something where you do your shipping and handling from out of. But like I mentioned, we're not dealing with that. We're not talking about that. We're more focused, we're more so focused on digital products, right? So you're going to need some kind of place to house your digital product, or the product of the person that you are promoting for. They will have their own place as well. Okay. They will have their own place where you can connect as an affiliate and drive sales, right? Drive sales. And for those of you who are wondering how they track the sales to you directly, that come as an affiliate, you will get your own unique affiliate link, right? Your own unique affiliate link that is tied to you and only you, so much so that anytime a sale is generated, the vendors are aware of the fact that the sale came about as a result of your digital marketing efforts, and they know to credit you in particular, right? So that's that part, right? That's the second component, right? And then lastly, there's going to be the aspect of traffic, right? Sending, gaining the traffic that you need to send to the products that you're promoting so that you can start generating sales. Okay. Right. And you're going to need lots of traffic if, right, if you're going to have a chance to generate lots of sales, right? Because it's a numbers game. The more people that you can get to seeing your product, right, whether it's your product or somebody else's product that you're promoting as an affiliate, the more people that you can get there to see that stuff, right, the more you have a chance of making a sale, right? The better your chances are of making a sale, right? Now, this is where content creation comes into play, right? This is going to be, I would say, of all the different components and all the different things that you have to do, this is going to be the most challenging part, right? Because the first component, right, is just figuring out or getting a product for yourself, right? That's an easy thing to come up with, right? Whether, especially if you're doing it as an affiliate, right? All it takes is deciding what niche you want to go into, right? And finding a popular or a good performing product in that niche, right? That is already proven to sell well, that you can tap into and start promoting, right? Without any trial and error or worrying about or being concerned about whether it sells well or not, right? Because it's already been proven, so you're just tapping into it, right? So that part is easy, right? Getting a product, as an affiliate, that's the easy part, right? And then your setup, right? Like where you're going to host the place where you're going to host the product online for it to be sold, right? So if it's your own product, you need some kind of store, some kind of platform where people can come. If they have their credit cards are ready to make payments, whatever the case may be, you have some kind of online storefront where people can come and purchase, whether it's yours as the product owner, or if you're promoting somebody else's as an affiliate, they will already have that. Okay. where you can drive the traffic directly to theirs through your affiliate link, like your unique affiliate link. So there's that. And then lastly, the part of traffic that I said is the hardest, okay? That is going to be the most challenging part for anyone getting started. For even people who are more experienced and who have been doing this for a while, gaining traffic, that is basically the biggest obstacle in between people basically getting to the other side, right? Like basically the difference between succeeding and not succeeding. That is where most people break down. All the earlier parts, right? The first component, getting a product together. The second component, getting a place that host it online or a place for you to, be able to sell it where people can come and make their purchases. All that, that's the easy work, right? Setting everything up and getting everything lined up. The real issue, right, which makes or breaks people is content, right, generating traffic, content creation. That's the real test of, right, who's made for this stuff or not, right? And that's where most people tend to give up, and often prematurely, right? That's where people tend to often prematurely give up, because it's the part that is going to test you, especially you, is going to test your mindset, is going to test you mentally, right? Because we are in a society where people are just so used to instant gratification, right? Instant gratification. You go to work, right, for X number of hours, you expect X number of dollars in return, in pay, right? Guaranteed, so to speak, right? And that's like that typical employee mindset. Whereas you have to adopt that the mindset of an entrepreneur, whereby you're willing to put in a lot of work up front, right, for no immediate reward, right, for no immediate reward, but you keep on going and you trust the process, and you know that what you're doing is going to pay off in the long run for a with a much greater reward down the road. Okay, so that's the whole idea. Thank you. I appreciate you guys tapping the screen. Thank you so much. Right. So that's the whole idea. And that's where people fall short. With the content creation, they start creating content. They may make a few pieces of content here and there and expect to have traffic just flooding into whatever product they're promoting immediately, right? And they may do like a couple videos or a little bit of stuff here and there, right? And expecting overnight, so to speak, overnight success, not realizing that they need to do a whole lot more, right? People will put in some work, right? They'll put in quite a bit of work thinking that they're doing a lot, right? Thinking that they're doing enough, right? They'll come like maybe for the first week, they've created maybe one video a day, which is just that's, you want to do when you're getting started, when you're starting out, you want to put out as much content as possible, right? Even more on a daily basis and consistently, right? Consistently on a daily basis, right? Especially like with the short form video content platforms, the likes of like TikTok, right? IG, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, right? Stuff like that. Um, Facebook Reels, right? What are some of the other ones? Those are like, those are like the major ones. I know people also use Snapchat, stuff like that. I personally have not used it yet, but those are the different places, right? People will start posting content and expecting to see results immediately, and when it doesn't happen, they start giving up. Okay, and that's just not like it doesn't work that way, right? I always tell people, if you're going to do this stuff, you have to give it a solid three that's just the bare minimum, right? For me, 3 months, that's just even the bare minimum. Honestly speaking, if you want to give yourself the best possible chance of having any kind of success with this, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, right? You've got to like give it a legitimate 6 months, right? 6 to 12 months, right? And that is where most people, even most people don't even make it to 3 months, right? Let alone six, right? And here's the thing: it is very possible. Don't get me wrong, right? It is very, very possible to start seeing incredible amounts of success within your first 30 days, right? Within the first 4 weeks. Some people start getting their first sales within their first week. starting from zero, starting from scratch, right? Some people sometimes have a little bit of an advantage, right? Maybe they already had a following, right? They already had a following, and then they started. They just discovered digital marketing and got started. Welcome, Carolyn, Simone. Welcome, Nicole. Welcome, Janet. Right? They just started, and then all of a sudden they started making sales right from the get-go. Right? They get fortunate. Some people use their existing social media platforms, right? Profiles with people with all their existing friends and all that. Obviously, that's going to help you generate sales a lot earlier because you have a lot of people following you who are people from your real day-to-day life who know you. So they're probably already going to like you and trust you a little bit more. Those tend to be the people that start making sales early on from the get-go, right? Because they already have that trust factor. But then again, on the flip side, there are people who are kind of embarrassed, right? They don't want their friends and family to know that this is the thing that they're doing. So they either use their existing profiles, block all their friends and family and people that they don't want knowing that they're doing this stuff, or they just go create brand new accounts altogether, right? And still go block all their friends and family because they don't want them to know, right? And I get it. I understand. I was, I'm like I was the same way. Like even now, sometimes, like, yeah, they may see some stuff that I've done here and there, but honestly speaking, for whatever reason, I would rather not. And this is something that even I'm still working with, right? That whole mindset thing. You can't be worried about what other people think, right? That is one of the things that I preach quite a bit, and I've got to, I'm still working on. I'm still working on following my own advice, right? Because at the end of the day, these people, they're not the ones paying your bills, right? Like they're not going to be the ones paying your bills. Like you've got to do what you got to do. But again, like I get it, like I understand. You don't have to, right? You can do this stuff incognito, and so to speak, right? You can get started, with brand new profile. If you're comfortable with everybody knowing what you're doing and you don't care and you don't mind, by all means, use your existing profiles if you want to. But for the purposes of what we're doing here, depending on what you're promoting, right? I would recommend that you start with something just, brand new, right? Start with your own, start with like a new style. Welcome, Solid. I see you in there. Welcome, welcome. I would recommend that, depending on what you're promoting as well, right? Like if it's a lifestyle related type of thing with your content creation and all that, and you don't mind like people, friends and family knowing what you're doing and all that, and that you've started this new type business and all the like, if you don't mind, great, do that. You will have that advantage of having that built-in know, like, and trust factor of people who already know you, right? Right. These are your friends. Like, just think about this for a second. If you were on the street, right? If you were on the street and a stranger walked up to you and they started trying to pitch you some product, whatever it is, right? Like it could be a physical thing, whatever. They start trying to pitch you some product, and you don't know them, you've never met them before, and they just walked up to you on the street and you're like, hey, can you, hey, take a look at this thing that I got here. Hey, it's really good. I want you to buy it. I want you to buy it. You're gonna be like, get away from me, right? Like I don't know you, just like I'm not really, I don't care what you're showing me. I'm not interested, right? That's gonna be your natural reaction. If one of your friends, your close friends, or people that you know, right? It doesn't even have to be a close friend or family or brother, sibling, mother, father, whatever. Someone, even if it's just somebody that you know, right? Right? Somebody that you already knew about them, right? And they came up to you with the exact same thing, the exact same message. You're going to be a lot more receptive to hear what they want to say, right? Because you know them, you like them, you trust them to a certain extent, right? Maybe you don't even, you might have some shady friends and you don't trust them at all, whatever the case may be. But you will be a lot more receptive, right? You will be a lot more receptive to whatever it is that they're showing. The exact same thing that complete stranger walked up to you and wanted to show you, and you were ready to shoot them off. Okay, so that's where the people who use their own profiles, right? When you see people making sales early on from the get-go, like within the first week, 2 weeks, and all that type of stuff, a lot of times it happens to be people that already knew them, right? Like they see, hey, Johnny is doing this new thing and seems like it's working for him. He's doing what I like it. He's recommending, you know what, I'm gonna go do it too, right? All right. That's what tends to be the case, right? However, that does not mean if you decide to go brand new with new social profiles, everything from scratch, which a lot of us do, right? A lot. That's what I did, right? I went and created completely brand new social profiles that did not have any of my friends or anything like that, right? Even though some of them, every now and then, they've happened to find some of them by chance. So I guess my stuff is getting out there, and not what I would prefer, but hey, it is what it is, right? It's like that mindset. I'm growing out of that, right? It's just like it's like, hey, it is what it is. If people see it, they see it, right? But this is what I'm doing, and you got to get to that point where you're not worried as much about what people are thinking, right? And here's the other thing about that too, right? Here's the other thing about that too. You got to ask yourself, if you're not embarrassed by what it is that you are promoting or what you're selling, if you truly believe in the product that you are selling, then it shouldn't bother you as much, right? It should not bother you as not. So you can use that as a barometer as well, right? You can use that as a barometer to find out for yourself if you feel good about whatever it is that you're actually promoting. Okay, so that's definitely something to think about when you're, with the whole content creation thing and putting your content out there. Definitely something to think about, right? So that's that, right? The traffic, that's the traffic component. That is usually going to be the biggest hiccup for most people, right? That's going to be the difference between people who make it, those who don't make it, right? Those who can get past those initial 2, 3, 4, 4 weeks, first month, 2 month of putting in all this work and creating content and not necessarily seeing the traction and not necessarily seeing things happening, and then there's that will to, you're going to be battling that, that feeling of wanting to quit because you're not seeing instant results. But believe me, you have to stick with it, right? You have to stick with it. And maybe you might be one of those people that is incredibly charming right from the get-go. You start generating sales from the get-go. But let me explain why it does take a little while, right? Before, based on everything that I've explained to you right now, you might have a good idea already as to why it takes a little while, 2 months, 3 months, before things really start kicking in a great way, right? Based on what I explained to you earlier about that no like and trust factor, right? The stranger coming up to you on the street trying to show you this thing, and you're like, ugh, I don't know you, what is this? Get away from me. Versus one of your acquaintances or one of your friends or people that they come to show you the thing, and you're like, oh yeah, 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 that's the same thing with the same messaging, and you're more receptive. It's the same thing online, right? When you start like a brand new social media profile, right? And you start creating content, the first people who are going to come and start seeing your stuff, interacting with you and all that, depending on how your content is, or if you're over promoting or whatever the case may be, right? You're going to have a bunch of people start seeing your content, all this stuff that you're putting out there, right? But they don't know you, right? They don't know you. And that's where that consistency really comes into play. That is why it's so important to make sure that on a daily basis you are constantly showing up and showing people your face. Like, let when I said showing people your face. You can do this without showing your face too as well. There's faceless digital marketing. That's a thing people have made. I know of people within our community with the course that I got started with, learning all this stuff, Digital Wealth Academy. I know people in there who have done faceless accounts where they never show their face, they never show get on live, and they've made over $1 million, right? However, if you want to get to that place a little quicker, right? I don't mean necessarily $1 million. I'm just talking about getting to the point where you're generating sales, making money on a regular basis, right? It will do you some good if you're able to, if you can get comfortable with showing your face, right? Like this has been a struggle for me, right? Like if someone had told me a while ago that, oh, I would be doing like creating social media content and doing this whole affiliate marketing thing and digital marketing, I would have I would have laughed to your face. It's like, what, me? If you go look at my personal socials, you'll see what I'm talking about, because I don't post anything online. Like I'm one of those type of people. If you go look at my personal socials, you might actually think that I'm one of those like SCAM accounts, like one of those scam accounts, because I've never been a social media person. I've never been the one to be out there with the camera taking and all, it's just never been my thing. I've never cared for it, never liked it, right? But as I've started getting used to, like, when you find like there's if something is ever given me more of a reason to get comfortable with doing social media, who doesn't like money? Who doesn't like to make money, right? If that's going to be the ticket to help me get to making like the kind of living that I want to have, right? Enjoy the kind of life I want to have. If that's what I've got to do, and it's not that bad, it's not like I'm taking my clothes off or anything like that, right? Or it's not like I'm doing things that I should, hey. And guess what? In the process, I've actually started to kind of enjoy it, right? It's not even the attention that I enjoy. It's just like I've seen the growth, right? Digital Wealth Academy, like going through the training on all the different like platforms, right? Like how to monetize, like on YouTube right now. Like I'm currently on YouTube as well, right? Trying to monetize there, trying to and then also how to operate on Instagram, and how to operate on TikTok, right? How to operate on with the Pinterest, all these different social media platforms, right? I'm learning, like Digital Wealth Academy, right? The course that I bought to get started and learn all this stuff, that's where I've been learning. That's where I've seen the growth, right? One of the things that naturally you'll start to see, like this was one of my biggest like hiccups and biggest things that made me feel like, I felt like, I can't talk, like who's gonna listen to me, like I can't, right? And even now you can see I'm still a mess, right? Like it's not like I'm such an eloquent speaker or anything like that, right? I still have tons of ums and ahs, and but the more I do this, the better I become at it. And that's just going to be the same for you. Hey, Alicia Smith, I'm so glad to see you. I finally got somebody here that has shown up on YouTube. Great live. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, right? My people on TikTok, they're the ones they're the ones who are I've got a lot more of an audience of people happening here on TikTok. But like I said, YouTube is new for me, right? Like this is only the second live I've ever done on YouTube. And here's the thing, right? Like these are things that I'm doing now that I've learned inside Digital Wealth Academy that I used to look at other people doing, and I used to feel like, man, I can never do that. And I like that's like operating on several different platforms. To many, this might not be a big deal at all, right? It's like whoop-de-doo. To me, right? To me, who's never been like a techie person and who's never like, in my eyes right now, I'm like, to me, this is like, wow, this is amazing, right? Like, I know, right? I know it might not seem like anything to any, but for me, this is a big deal. Like it's growth for me, right? It's transformation. Like I'm doing things that I used to wish I could do before, right? But now, like, now I'm learning, right? And that's going to be the same thing for you, whatever it is, right, that you're trying to do when it comes to content creation. You're going to find your voice. You're going to find, and by the way, this is all, it's just got to be stuff that it doesn't have to be anything crazy, right? This is just regular stuff revolving around your own regular life, right? Like there's people who post content about, about their, being a mom or a dad with their kids and all that, and their day-to-day life, taking kids to school and all that, and just creating content around that, right? Using footage from their B-roll footage, right? And putting text on screen. It really is not that complicated, right? It's really not that complicated. It's just a matter of getting started. Let me see. I got another. TikTok's much easier, and unfortunately, I can't stand that app though. It is, yes. So Alicia mentioned here that TikTok is much easier than YouTube, but she just can't stand that app. And I totally agree. I totally agree with the part that TikTok is much easier, right? I don't necessarily share the sentiment of not being able to stand the app, right? Like, funny enough, the reason I really like TikTok, just for simple fact that it's easier to grow on there, right? Like I've been doing YouTube for over like the channel that I have now. I've been doing it for well over a year, and it is like some really slow growth there, right? But ever since I got started with Digital Wealth Academy, and they have a training in there that's showing you like best practice and how to do well on YouTube and all that kind of stuff, I'm finally starting to see a little more traction and understand certain things that I might not have been doing as well that are definitely going to be helping. So this is like for those of you who are not following me right now, if you've just joined me for the first time, I would encourage you to follow because I want you to see this stuff in real time, right? I have social media accounts right now that are basically still on the ground level, right? They're still on the ground level. I don't have a ton of followers on TikTok. I don't have a ton of followers on my YouTube and on all the different platforms I'm on. Instagram, same thing, right? But guess what? Thanks to everything that I'm learning currently inside Digital Wealth Academy, right, which I would encourage all of you to jump on, right? Because it's going to teach. The good thing about Digital Wealth Academy is that it teaches you 15 different ways to make money online, right? Including ways to do it without showing your face, without going on live if you don't want to, right? And it's already a done for you product that you can start promoting from day one, so you have the ability to start making money right from day one. Okay, and they pay like an entire 85% commission, right, for on a product that's like 497, right, which if you wanted to get started with today, you don't even have to pay the entire amount, right? Like they have plans available, right, for those who want to get started. But this is what I was saying. Like I would encourage you to follow because I want you to see this stuff happen, right? But not only do I want you to see it happen, right? I'm just saying it now. This is what September 1st, so there's 3 months, 4 months left. We're in the last third of the year. But you want like I don't want you to only follow and see the growth and see how things are happening. I want you to get on board and get started yourself, right? Because let me tell you something, and I'm telling you this from personal experience. For so long, I sat on the fence, right? I sat on the fence, wondering if this content creation and this digital marketing, affiliate marketing thing, if it was, if it was a real thing. I sat on the fence looking at it for the longest time, and I saw so many people, so many people online talking about how much money they were making, right? And how like fit, making 10K a month, 20K, 30K, 40K a month, 100K a month, right? Selling digital products, and even more than like Rachel, she does like 400K a month or whatever the case may be, right? But there are so many people that I watched get started on these platforms, especially specifically inside Digital Wealth Academy, because that's the course that got my attention when I started looking around on the internet for how to make money online and how to start doing all these things, right? That's where I saw the most people have so much success, right? There's the course that has created the most six-figure earners, seven-figure earners that I know of starting from scratch. And guess what? I saw a lot of these people start from nothing. And I was just sitting there on the sidelines watching, okay, let me see. Because I was like kind of, maybe not in denial, but I was just like, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't know if this thing really works. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching all these people starting from zero with zero followers, nothing, right? And they're posting their little videos. And there I was, saying, yeah, nice, that's cute, that's nice, that's cool. Yeah, cool, cool, cool. And okay, they're not really moving. But then I come back like maybe 2 weeks later, and then all of a sudden I've started seeing they started gaining followers, right? And I was like, okay, well, they're gaining followers, whoop-de-doo, they're not making money, right? And then I come back a month later, and then all of a sudden they're posting about how, oh, they started making like they made their first sale or something. And then I come back 2 months after that, and all of a sudden it's just like a snowball. They've started making crazy amounts of money, right? And it's like, and that was what was happening is that no like and trust factor that was being built from day one. Okay, and that's why there's such a like it's taking time for people to warm up to them, right? And I was watching, right, starting from zero, and then after a month they made their first sale, and then after 2 months they started making a little more sales, right? And then by the third month, like things just start blowing up. And what that is all those people who had been watching from day one starting to warm up to the people, right? Warm up to the person creating the content, getting to know them, getting to start. Because like I said, when you do this stuff, you want to be sharing stuff about yourself, right? Like that's how people get to connect with you, right? And over time, right? People, they finally cave in. That's like, okay, well, this person has been talking about the same thing over and over for all this time. It must be working. I want to get in on it too, right? But for the longest time, I sat there watching it and I just kept dismissing it. And it took me like a whole freaking year before I got started, right? And that's one of my biggest regrets right now. I think about how much further along I could have been right now had I gotten started doing this stuff way earlier from the get go. And that's, if there's anything that you can take away from this that I want to tell you, if you're thinking about doing this stuff, stop sitting on the fence, right? Like get in now, because I'm telling you, there are people that you're watching right now, like myself, for example, right, and others, right. And there's probably I'm probably, if you're in this space, I can bet my last dollar that you are. I'm not the only one that you're watching, right? There are other people that you are seeing who are getting started, that you are seeing right now making these videos that are like quote unquote cringe or whatever the case may be, right? And 6 months down the line, these same people that you're watching right now, right? 6 months down the line, these same people, I won't say all of them, right? Because they're for the most part, a lot of people are going to give up, right? But there are going to be a ton of people that you're watching right now. Mark my words, 6 months from now, they are going to be doing some incredible stuff, stuff that you wish you could have been living, right? They'll be living their best lives as a result of what they're doing with content creation and making money from digital products and selling whatever the case may be, right? And you're going to be watching those same people who have zero followers right now, zero nothing, who are not doing anything, and it doesn't look like they're going anywhere, right? But 6 months from now, those same people, you will see them living, possibly their best lives, or making some a certain amounts of money, and you're going to be wishing that you were one of those people. And guess what? They're going to be living and doing well then, because they started now, right? And you didn't. So I'm leaving you with that. Like that's something for you to think about. Like if this is something that you've been wanting to do and you've been thinking about doing it, you need to get going now, right? Get started now. 3 months down the line, 4 months down the line, we're coming to a close with 2024. 2025, and you want to give yourself like the chance to be walking into 2026 like a champ, right? And Christmas is coming up. You want to be able to think about the fact that, like, with the extra bit of money that you could be making, how much better your Christmas could be, right? So those are all things for you to be thinking about, right? Time's waiting for nobody, right? And I'm just like, that's just one of my biggest regrets right now. Like I can count at least five people that I watched from scratch, who got into Digital Wealth Academy, learned any one of the skills, learned any one of the 15 different ways to make money online, that got in and started and started implementing, right? And now they are doing amazing, right? 5-figure months and all that type of stuff. 5-figure months, 5-figure six. I don't, well, 6-figure. I'm not even gonna count like that. That's the creative, because like that one's doing. There are some of them that are doing. I don't want to count them because they are like the owners and creators. So I don't count them. I'm looking more so at people who are beginners, like had no prior experience, nothing, started from scratch. And I know I can count at least 5 who I wish I had kept up and kept on going with them, right? I mean, I'm doing okay now, but like it's nothing to brag about, right? Like nothing to be excited about. Like I'm still on the up and up, right? And I can see where this is going, right? I can see where this can be going. So I would encourage you to get started. For those of you who are interested and you're curious to see, and if you are with me here on YouTube, it's just going to be the first link in the description below this video. When you click on you click on that, that's going to take you to my store, and you will be able. You're looking for DWA, which stands for Digital Wealth Academy. Click on that, and you will see everything you get access to, right? Like all the different things that are all the different modules that are there, how you can get, and all the different plans available, right? You can get started there. And then for those of you who are here with me on TikTok, if you go to the top left hand side of the screen where I click on my profile picture up there, right, that's going to open up a bigger profile picture of mine. and then click on that again. It's going to take you to my TikTok profile, and then what you want to do is click on the link, right, the link inside my profile there, and that will take you to my store, and then you'll see DWA in there, Digital Wealth Academy, and you want to click on that, and you can take a look at everything that you would be getting, everything that you would be learning there, right? And one of the things that I often, that I always offer as a bonus for those of you who get started with while here with me on the live, or at least then within an hour after I get off the live, because I do need to get off in a little bit. It's we're coming up on an hour soon, so I'll probably be getting off around. So let's just call it'll be 7 soon. So let's just call it anybody that joins through any of my links, right? But before 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you will get me as with my free mentorship from me, which is going to include getting my personal phone number, which you can use to text me as often as you want to, right? And we can jump on a call as well if need be, right? And then the other thing too is for the first 2 months after you do purchase, once a week, I will be glad to get on a Zoom call with you where we can go over your stuff and make sure that you are doing the stuff that you need to be doing to to give yourself the best possible chance of success, right? I'll essentially be acting as your accountability partner, right? Remember what I told you earlier about the fact that most people give up way too soon, right? A lot of people give up before things actually get great, right? That is what I'm going to be there to do, to hold your feet to the fire, to make sure that you like basically like a coach, right? A cheerleader, making sure, like giving you, encouraging you, and keeping you accountable, right? To make sure that you're doing this, because this stuff works, man. But you have to work it, right? It works if you do, right? It works if you do. You just have to be willing to roll your sleeves up and do what I'm never, ever, ever, you'll never, ever hear me tell you that this stuff is easy. Okay. It is simple, right? It is very, very simple, but I'll never tell you that it's like, I'm not one of those type of people that will just tell you anything just so I can make a sale, right? I keep it real. I tell you how it is. And I tell you the truth in terms of expectation. Like if you think this is something like a get rich quick type thing, and you're gonna purchase a course and then start making money overnight, I'm sorry, this is like, you're not this is your this is not where this is not the right thing. Well, you're in the wrong place. I can't help you, right? But if you are at least willing to commit to doing the simple work every single day, right? Something that you can get done in, like, most people, once they have this dialed in, they do it within 2 to 3 hours a day, right? 2 to 3 hours a day, they get it dialed. That's how a lot of people are able to get started while they have full-time jobs, part-time jobs, kids, managing everything, whatever the case may be, right? That's how people are able to do this stuff. And then, the whole goal is, get to the point, at least for me, it was, right? Maybe, there are a lot of people that absolutely love their jobs, right? So, and that's great, right? If you're one of the fortunate people that has a job that they absolutely love, fantastic, good for you, right? But at the same time, even though you have that job that you love, it was, you absolutely do want to, you don't want to be relying on that one source of income, right? It doesn't hurt you in any way, shape, or form to, start developing a second stream of income. And a lot of people get started with this stuff with the aim of just making an extra, 500,000 a month, and then before they know it, they start surpassing way even more than what they're making at their full-time jobs, right? Without it being their intent. But think about it for a quick second, though. If you start doing this stuff and you see how simple it is, and you get to that point where you start getting sales rolling in on a regular basis, you think anybody's going to need to tell you that you should start doing a little bit more so you can make a little bit more money? Of course, nobody's going to tell you. Like, money motivates. I'll tell you that much, right? Money motivates. If there's anything that motivates people to do more and, get more done, work more, is money. And especially when it's this type of money, right? Money that comes from digital marketing, which is like semi-passive, right? That's another thing that people throw around carelessly. The whole passive income thing from digital. It's not. That's real passive income. That's a subject for another day. Let's just leave it at that, right? Yes, it is. I call it semi-passive, right? It's semi-passive income. It's not really, because you actively still have to do some. Real passive income is like the type, like money that comes from investments and stuff like that, right? Where You do the set things up once and you never touch it again, and you literally do nothing. That's real passive income, right? This is, I call it semi-passive just because there is active maintenance involved on a daily basis when it comes to your content creation, right? The moment you stop producing content, creating content, then your sales and things is gradually going to start dwindling away, right? So there is the degree of maintenance involved. But hey, it's simple stuff. Okay, it's just a matter of doing it, right? And if you want, if you want my help to help you get again, and this is the other thing too, right? I don't want you to feel like you can't do this on your own, right? Because the course is designed, Digital Wealth Academy is designed in such a way that an absolute beginner can get started, follow the instructions, follow the training on their own, because it's all step by step by step by step. Anybody can get started doing it, right? And they can go through it on their own. And then there is a community on the inside, right? Of 120 something thousand people. There's a reason why that course is like one of the fastest growing courses online right now, with over 120 something thousand people, with the most six-figure and seven-figure earners created from scratch, right? Because it works, right? It works for those who actually work it, who do the work on it, right? So like I was saying, you can do this on your, like, you have, they also have like weekly lives as well, right? See how I'm doing this live right here? The course actually has lives on Zoom calls where people that are taught by, like, there's an 8-figure mentor in there, someone he's coming up to close to $30 million in sales of digital products. It sounds mind blowing, but yes, but he's operating on a much different level, right? But that's who you'll have teaching inside there, right? And all the different they do that about once a week, but then all the different modules in there, and all the different things that you would be learning from, they're all taught by experts in that particular field, right? So it's not like it's just somebody that is regurgitating information that they've heard from somewhere else. These are people who are actively making money doing the thing that they are teaching inside the course, right? So that's definitely something to keep in mind. So once again, for those of you who are interested in getting started, if you're watching on YouTube, it's just going to be the first link in the description below the video. And if you are watching on TikTok, you want to go to the top left hand side of the screen, click on my profile picture, right? Then that's going to open up a bigger profile picture of myself. And you want to click on that, and it will take you to my TikTok profile, where you can just click on the LINK right inside my BIO, right? I'm spelling that out because TikTok does get kind of finicky sometimes when you say certain words. But you want to click on that LINK, and that's going to take you to my store. And you're looking for DWA, right? Digital Wealth Academy. And you can go ahead and get started there. If you're on YouTube, like I mentioned, first link in the description below the video, click on that. It'll take you to my store, and you're looking for DWA, Digital Wealth Academy. Click on that, and you can see everything that you're going to get, right? You'll see everything that's involved, all the different modules that are in there, all the different things that you would be learning, right? The different modules. And it comes in 6 different languages, by the way. I never mentioned that. The DWA comes in 6 different languages, including I can't remember off the top of my head. There's English, there's Spanish, there's Italian, there's French. 4 languages I incidentally happen to speak all 4 of them. I'm pretty proud about that. But anyway, there's that. There's Portuguese, and then what's the last one? I want to say German, I believe. Yeah, German's the last one. Yeah, but there's like, yeah, those are the 6. Those are the 6 different languages that the course comes in, right? So there's something there for everyone. Like if you speak any one of the other languages, right? Like if you speak Spanish, you can learn from the course in Spanish. But that is essentially, now for those, I mean, anybody, whether it's on if you're here on YouTube or if it's on TikTok, if you have any questions for me, right, please feel free to ask them, right? Please feel free to put any questions that you have in the comment section, and I'll be sure to respond. And if you did ask me a question and I happen to miss it by chance, because like I said, I'm monitoring 2 different platforms right now between YouTube and TikTok, right? So I'm trying to keep up with That's why if you notice, like depending on where you're watching from, I might look like I'm not like my eyes are all twisted. Like I'm looking at two different screens at the same time, right? So I'm basically trying to keep up and make sure that I'm not missing anybody's questions if they did. And if I did happen to miss any question that you did ask, please make sure that you go ahead and follow me or subscribe, and that way you can DM me later, right? You can always send me a direct message and I will be sure to respond, right? But we have got, anybody that has any questions, like I said, ask me the questions. It's one of the reasons why I do these lives, right? So I can, any reservations, any doubts, or any, like if there, for any reason you feel like there's something that doesn't add up or whatever the case may be, that's why I'm here. That's why that's why I'm here. I'm here to answer the questions, and I like doing them because I can answer them in real time, right? I can answer these questions in real time if you have any. And two things come to mind two things come to mind for me. It's always, like one of two things. If you do not have any questions, that in my mind tells me that okay, maybe I did a fantastic job explaining everything, right? It's one of two things. It's either that or maybe three things come to mind. It's either that or two, maybe people are shy, right? And they don't want to come across a certain way. Or three, I was just absolutely making zero sense and so little sense that people don't even know what to ask, right? But I highly doubt that would be the case. Otherwise, you might not have been here long enough. But anyway, that's essentially that. Guys, I'm here. If you do decide to join, go ahead and join. Let me know and come back and let me know here on the live so we can celebrate you, right? So we can celebrate, right? I've just discovered all these little effects and stuff that you can use, right? All these little effects, funny little stuff, right? I find them kind of they tickle me, kind of interesting. But anyway, anybody, if you do decide to join, guys, let me know. I'll definitely, I will see right away. I should get like an email. Let's see, am I looking at the right one? I would get nope, that's the wrong platform. But anyway, if anybody does have any questions, right, guys, because I will be jumping off momentarily, and as I always mention, as a bonus for those who join while we're here on the live or within an hour after I get off, I will offer that bonus. I will offer that bonus for those who decide that they want to join while I'm on the live. So it is 7:05 Eastern time right now, 7:05 p.m. Welcome, Mega Co. Let's see, Mega Co. Welcome aboard. Welcome. You just joined us when I was getting ready to be jumping off, but hey, I'm still here for anyone that has any questions, right? So if you join within now while we're here on live, or once I get off within the hour, so that will put us at 8 p.m. Eastern time. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anyone who joins before 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you will get my free coaching, free mentorship, right? And that I will be offering only for the at this point, first two people, right? Only the first two people that do get started, because obviously I can only handle but so many people at a time. If I'm going to be on the phone, or like if we're doing calls, like I said, once a week for the first 2 months after you join, so that equates to at least eight different calls, right? Once a week, just to keep track of your progress and seeing what you're doing and making sure that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing in order to give yourself best possible chance of success. I can only there's only so many people I can be dealing with at the same time, right? And I do want to make sure that I'm giving the best that I can in terms of time and offering help and making sure that you're getting what you need and the support that you need. So keep that in mind. That's only going to be for the first two people that join today before 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. And if you do decide to join, or if you decide you are going to join, let me know in the comments so I can just hang around and so that you can go through the process and then come back and let me know, and then we can celebrate. We can celebrate you in here for taking that step to make a difference, right? So just let me know, guys. Let me know. But if not, If not, I'm gonna go ahead, like if nobody has any questions for me right now, right? I'm gonna jump off. Like, so I'm gonna give it like a few, about a minute, right? Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. If you don't have any questions, I guess I will catch you in my next live or through my content, right, that I'm creating on the different platforms. So just let me know, okay? Let me know in the comments, or if you want me to wait for you, if you as you while you go get started, just let me know inside the comments. Otherwise, I'll be hopping off here. And remember, you can always DM me as well for those of you who are on TikTok. If you're Just make sure you follow me at the moment so that you don't lose me, because there's a very good chance that you will never come across me again if you're not following me right now. So make sure you do follow, so much so that you can always follow up with me and send me whatever message or questions that you do want to send me. Say, those for those of you on TikTok, sorry, on YouTube, this is a live. You can put your comments in the chat over there, or maybe even come comment on the videos later, and I can respond to you that way. Or if you want to get in touch with me, just send me a message there. All right, guys. I assume that's it. Nobody has anything for me, so I will be hopping off, going once and going twice, and one last time. I guess nobody has anything for me. And all right, well, I will catch you guys in my next live. You guys could have been anywhere doing whatever you wanted to do, but you took the time to spend it here with me, and for that, I am forever grateful. I appreciate it big time. All right. Thank you, and I will catch you in my next in my next live or through my content. All right. Thank you. Ciao.